Trader Sam here again. Next video is on Solana, and actually it's going to be looking at Solana from a few perspectives, and therefore trying to give you some direction, especially those who aren't familiar with pairing. But I'll make my best effort to explain certain things and why Solana is outperforming the likes of Ethereum and Bitcoin, and why you should look for trading with the pairs. So here we have Ethereum, Solana against Ethereum. I do place certain charts with focus, and what I had at the time was a 3 and a 4 for the short term. So this small term, this could be a 5 or furthermore, but this is looking at a small time perspective. I actually think macro wise it's going to be much higher. However, we'll look at it from a few perspectives. So I have made the assumption with Ethereum or this chart that the Fibonacci levels are aligned in such a way. Here I have the Fib 1, and then I'll place 0 down there, and you can see I don't quite include the wicks. But what does give me is confluence with price, and I've got the 0.3 ever so slightly there. Beautifully, so it makes sense that it's support or resistance. 0.5 is a resistance, and now look, at the end of the day it could be this macro one as well, and the 618 is acting as support. So there's a number of ways of looking at it, and that's really hard to know because you only know these things once you hit the top. What is the best way to lay out Fibonacci? But for the short term, I'm looking at what fits best. And you can see the 618 actually fits here as well as support. And therefore the 1 has been broken. So if the 1 has been broken, then we have these as targets based on this Fibonacci. Alternatively, we can look at it from another perspective. And let's have a look at that. Let me just get rid of this fib for the short term, and let's look at it from another perspective. All-time high is 1, all-time low is 0, and you can see that the 0.382 acts as resistance. 0.5 sort of plays support there. We've got the moving averages as well. We've got the, let's put that as a 10, and obviously this will probably be 20 or 21, yep, and it's playing its role. So the 618's been broken, and it's probably good to add the 786. And 886 standard numbers. And there we go. So 786 has been broken, and therefore I look at this previous support, and then resistance. So I think this level is going to play a resistance, and it could be the micro small wave 5. So it's worth watching, but we can see that. What I've done is with my Ethereum, once I got the breakout here, I added more Solana from getting rid of Ethereum and added more Solana. Now I'm going to look at that. If we get a rejection, this could be a Wyckoff reaccumulation range, and then we'll look at that kind of scenario, and then break out there, and then we have a better range. So I'm looking at it from that perspective for the pairing. But yeah, how much more am I in advantage if you do this? So 200% more Ethereum we can accumulate if we were to flip over. When Ethereum has its run, it's likely that this one has hit wave 5, and then Ethereum will have its go. So you've got to keep an eye on both. Now let's look at Solana against Bitcoin, and this was another chart for Solana against Ethereum. I had this assumption that, and if you know me, I have a channel, double lines, there's always a double. That was a good entry, and now it's hit our 618 with an assumption based on what I've done here. 382 support, 0.5, 618 there. And you know what? It's actually done a good job. It's pulled back. Interesting enough. Now let's look at Solana against Bitcoin. Well, that looks nice, doesn't it? What do we see? We see the weekly level That is a weekly level breaking out. Bitcoin's breaking out with this weekly level. This looks like a cup. And if we're to assume that's our one, initially we'll have that. Let's just do that for a sec. Get rid of extension. If it's our 618 level, then the one matches the 618 there, and then we can have these levels here as well. So I would say that based on this is going to be our main target. So if this continues on, which I believe, then we can have this. Look at the measured move. If this is our cup, then the measured move is pretty much the same. Now the problem is we've got some wicks here. So give it, if we were to add those wicks, we can see it hits a 1.272. So that could be the measured move. Probably not. Does look like another fulcrum bottom. And the breakout was clear. That was a nice breakout there. That would have been a nice entry. If we're keeping an eye on it. I wasn't. I just bought Solana because I was looking at the US dollar. So there we go. I'm looking at it from that perspective. There's a few levels that we have to get past, but it seems if we can close, the weekly can close above this level, then that's bullish. At the moment, you can see how we had a few weeks of rejection. So we need to see, but that was on the downside. Here, if we could close on the weekly above, that would be great. Now let's add a few indicators there. Okay, so this is still bullish on the weekly. And the RSI is continuing to upside, so I still got more to go. Indicators looking great to be bullish with Solana. Here we have a bit of resistance, divergence coming in on the 3-day, but that's not to say it can't keep going, as these are delayed indicators. Optimism is doing something similar, so it's good to see that and look at optimism as well. There we go. So I think buying Solana with Bitcoin is still making sense. So I'm going to leave that at that, guys. In terms of Solana, I have these levels on Solana. Hits our daily level. So I did expect it. I bought this because I go, yeah, it's going to break out. So I added more of margin. And look at it. It's hit our daily level. And it's above the daily TPO as well. Where is it going to go? We need to look at it. I think it's going to head to this $102 in detail. This is more about pairing. So the dailies are there, daily levels. I better just get rid of those ones. From a Fibonacci perspective, 618. Damn, this is going really good. So we've broken our major fib. What I want to do is now is just flip that logarithmic. So we are headed likely to there. This is going to be the major resistance here, the 0.382, $103, and then 133, and probably will get to 163 the way it's going. Could be wrong, but the indicators suggest that they're still pretty bullish. Make that red. That's where we're going to head to, about $101. Round number, psychological, $100, give or take a bit. That could be our next target there. But I'm going to leave that at that, guys. Please give me a like and share. I'll talk to you soon.
There you have it. Please give Sam a like, share, and subscribe to his channel to support him for doing more of these posts.